Jelian. Here's my baby. Let's just start this video by saying I still have my 3 dogs. Alright, go guys. This door doesn't fully close all the way, so they can just push it open. Anyway, I just got out of the shower, as you can tell. I haven't been here for a few months, I know. I decided why not come back with a Q&A so that you guys can catch up. I'll tell you what's been going on in my life. First of all, I just put on this snail mucin. I'm sure you've heard about it. I've been using it here and there, but this morning I came across a TikTok that told me to use it on damp skin, that's how you're supposed to use it. But anyway, that's all I've done so far. My hair is soaking wet because I've been leaving it natural, and I found a new routine that works for me. I posted a TikTok when I was having a really good hair day, like a good curl day. Basically, after I shower, I use this Kinky Curly Not Today Natural Leave-In Detangler. So I brush my hair in the shower with my conditioner and I detangle it, and then after I get out, I don't brush it. I know it's looking a little bit crazy right now, but it's not tangled, it's just very wet. I may not be able to show you very well because I need some clothes. I also put on this gel. It's like a very watery gel from Maui. I put it on and I like scrunch my hair very gently so that it doesn't frizz up. And that's basically all I do. And if it gets like frizzy or whatever, I go in with like an oil after it's dry. That's been my routine lately. It's been working for me. I think the main thing that works the best is just brushing out my hair in the shower and not drying it at all. But anyway, I've seen your comments and I know you miss me. Here's the thing, I've been active on all my other socials, but I feel like nothing is as personal as YouTube is. Like, even on TikTok, you have a very limited amount of time to talk. I like to keep that content very lighthearted. I feel like my audience on YouTube knows me on a more personal level, and that's why you guys get worried about me. And I really appreciate that. Like, it makes me very happy to receive comments that are sincere and are like genuinely wondering where I am. I see you, and I appreciate you. As grateful as I am for my subscribers and my viewers, I think a big problem that I had was focusing on numbers and like really stressing when maybe I saw my views decline. And I don't know, it's just, I feel like there's a lot of different factors that goes into that, and it really affected me. So the last year has been very transformative for me as far as where I want to take my content or where I want my life to go, or like what I see my life looking like in a few years, or Mateo's life looking like in a few years. And that was the most important part for me. And you guys know, like, at the end of the day, you guys know kind of the basics of what I've been going through, like a breakup and a really bad depressive episode that happened in December, and having to get on medication and how that made me feel. And honestly, that was very rough. And having to go through that publicly and having people's opinions was like, it was truly rock bottom for me. And I needed to take a step back and be like, I am a real person existing in this world, not just on the internet. I have a son and I need to worry about him. Obviously, that's my main priority. So I needed to be okay for him first and for myself, obviously. So yeah, I mean, the last few months have been pretty good. They've definitely been a roller coaster. I'm not even gonna lie. But overall, there's been very special days, very important days. Like, it was my birthday, it was Mother's Day. It was Mother's Day on my birthday this year. I turned 26. That's actually insane to me, but I was kind of sick on my birthday. I was very sick on my birthday. My friends also threw me a surprise party. They pulled it off so well. I had no idea, but if you know anything about me, you know that I hate surprises. So my reaction was kind of awkward, but I appreciate them very much. It was also Mateo's birthday in May. My little Gemini baby, he turned 7 years old. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Good morning, my 7-year-old. Good morning. You feel older?
No.
No? We're gonna go to McDonald's. So you gotta hurry up and get dressed. I just did the absolute most today. So I didn't get to record anything, and also it's storming, which has made everything so much harder. But look how cute! I'm so excited. I'm gonna go pick him up from school now. take him to go eat. He's gonna get a haircut also because we need to waste some time while my friends get here, come inside, and we can surprise him when we come back. We got donuts instead of cake or cupcakes because he doesn't really like cake, and all his presents are over there from me and from Valeria as well. Let's go, I'm so excited.
What's up?
What's up?
So how the fuck are you still bitching about your problems? Can you fall apart?
Happy birthday to you.
The liquid out your eyes rolls right down to the source of your life.
I feel so old. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. I'm literally 26. I'm very young. But I don't know. I feel like I saw my life looking a certain way a few years ago. I'm like, oh, 26. That seems so far away. I'm going to be married and I'm going to have more kids and whatever. And like, it hasn't turned out like that at all, as you can tell. And I know that people will have their opinions and be like, you're the problem or whatever. I don't know, maybe I am the problem. Look how wet my bra is now. I need to put on a shirt. I'm having sensory issues. A lot has changed around my house also. Like, well, I guess my room kind of looks the same, but it's very clean. I just cleaned it. I posted a TikTok about it. You know what? I'm very active on TikTok and I love it there. Like, it's very calm. Here's my 2 pups, 2 out of 3. The other one is downstairs. But I got these lamps from Bed Bath & Beyond. By the way, they're closing all their stores and they have really good stuff for like a really big sale. So the lamps were like less than $30 each. I got these lamps and I got this duvet cover. I know none of this matches right now and obviously something happened here. I wonder who it was. These pillows, I got a different cover for them. My dogs like to chew on the corners of them for some reason. This one's like completely torn and it's kind of like grossing me out. So I need new covers and I got them on Etsy, but they're getting here in August, which kind of sucks. But for now, this is my room and it looks very cozy. My jelly cat there and my collection of jelly cats here. A lot of these are in Mateo's room, but I don't think he appreciates them as much as I do. Also, I lost a pair of sunglasses recently at a club. I know you guys have seen me live my life, right? Like I've been posting very much party girl mom content. I think I've gotten a good balance in my life, but I'm gonna open up about that later on in this video. The party scene, living in Miami, all of that. So let's get into the Q&A. This is like my uniform. I feel like you guys have seen these sweatpants a million times. Oh, I have to show you this. I have been in my thrift era again, and I thrifted this little bear clock thing that like stands on the table like this, and it's the cutest thing ever. Like, I feel like what I was gonna say is, I feel like the coquette girlies, coquette, am I saying that right? Coquette girlies would go crazy over this. Yes. You drew that? That is so freaking beautiful. I'm so proud of you. I
used the book.
That's really cute. I just got on Instagram and I noticed that YouTube commented on my picture. It's like they knew I was coming back. They said, summer is your season. It is. It is. You know what? I haven't been posting on YouTube a lot. I haven't been working because I've been focusing on summer. How's everything going with college? So I took this semester off, the summer off, because Mateo's on summer break. So I felt like it was going to be very hard to like have him around and also do school. But I plan on going back hopefully next semester. There's just like so much going on that I'm like, I really need to sign up for classes, but we're still on that. I completed my first semester of college. I'm trying to fix my hair so bad. I took 3 classes last semester and I finished those and it went well. So that's how it's going so far. How does your parenting style differ from your mom's and how are they the same? I have been parenting for 7 years now, so I feel like I can answer this question because Mateo is a very advanced kid and he has tested me, and I feel like because of that I've learned a lot about myself as a mom and the way that I handle different situations when my patience is tested in that way. And I feel like our parenting styles are very, very different. My mom is very, I wouldn't say very, but she's kind of traditional. She was very stern with me, and I feel like I was a really good kid. I don't know, I mean, I obviously did things as a kid that like would annoy her or bother her, but I was very shy, I was very quiet, and I was very good. Like, I was the perfect kid. But my sister, on the other hand, was very different, and we're 10 years apart. I'm 10 years older than her, and she was more, I wouldn't even say she was like a bad or a difficult kid, but she was more like, she was less shy and kind of like very sneaky. And she's 15 now, she's about to be 16, and she's a good kid, like she's a good teenager. I feel like we're different in that way. Like, me as a teenager, I wasn't bad at all, and I was terrified of my mom, but I had a really bad attitude problem, and I would talk back a lot. But I would say, like, my mom was always very strict, and I am not as strict as she is. I'm not very, but I'm more lenient than she was with me or my sister, but I can be stern if I need to be. So I feel like we're different in that way. Like, my mom was a screamer, like she would yell if she was angry. How are you doing mentally and emotionally? I would say that I was really struggling for a while, like for months, and I feel like that showed physically. I lost a lot of weight. I might have touched on this, but honestly I feel like I blacked out throughout my last few videos on YouTube. Like, I don't remember what I've spoken about, what I've posted on YouTube. I was not doing well. Everything, I feel like something shifted in me that I just couldn't cope with life, and like everything was too much. I was very overwhelmed. Yeah, I wasn't doing well, and I lost a lot of weight. I feel like the last few months I've gained some very necessary weight, and I started doing yoga, which honestly has changed my life. I would say I have always been a pretty spiritual person, but I've never really tapped into that until recently and wanted to know more and learn more. I was raised very religious. I was raised Christian. My grandfather preaches. I went to Christian schools and religious schools growing up in Puerto Rico, and I feel like all of that did something to my brain, and eventually I decided I'm not religious and I don't believe in God, and I was really struggling with the idea of like suffering and like death. Oh my goodness, we're going somewhere else with this conversation. But recently I've tapped more into that and like more into God and like spirituality, and I would never make this type of content. I would possibly talk about this on like a podcast or something. I have a lot of thoughts, and I would never try to push my beliefs on someone. If anything, I'm more interested in knowing other people's beliefs and like, why do you believe these things and what led you here? I don't know, I'm just very interested in learning about people and how they cope with life, because I struggled so much, and I feel like the way that I struggled with things was stages, and the last stage that I went through was like going through the fear of death, which I've been very afraid of death always, but especially since I've had Mateo, I've had a kid, I've been so afraid of death. And I feel like all of that has to do with like my mental health. I had a lot of anxiety, and then I started thinking a lot about death, and then I hope I don't get demonetized, but I started thinking a lot about death, and that made my anxiety worse, and so I had to find a way to cope with that, which I feel like because of that I started trying to learn more and being a little bit more spiritual. Doing yoga has helped me a lot with like meditation and calming my brain. I get a lot of questions asking me about how do I handle my anxiety, how do I deal with my anxiety. You have to do things like that. Like, if you can't cope, try to learn. Be like, okay, what am I anxious about and how do other people cope with this? And also just try to distract yourself, or like exercising. Exercising is so good. Doing things like Pilates or yoga, things that are like softer and still active, has helped a lot. And I will say that even though I started eating more and I started coping with my anxiety more, I also adapted really bad habits. The main one being alcohol. I live in Miami. Drinking culture is just bad in general, especially living in a big city like this, where like Miami is just so focused on partying, clubbing, drinking, and that's something that's still currently affecting me in my life. I'll go out and I get presented with an opportunity. For example, I got hosted at a club for free. They had all my friends there. They were like, complimentary liquor all night, you get tables. They had food brought out to us all for free. So obviously I'm gonna be like, I'm young, like I'm gonna drink. And in moments like that, it's like I need to learn how to control myself, because alcohol is just not good for me at all. I have very bad anxiety, and when I get drunk, like the next day I wake up and I'm like, I don't feel like myself. I feel like I'm floating outside of my body. I'm a very social drinker. Like, I don't just drink in my house. I don't drink by myself, but if I'm socializing and it's nighttime and like it's there and everybody else is drinking, like I'm gonna want to drink. That's been a huge problem for me because it started happening a little bit too frequently, and I started blacking out, which I had never done in the past. I felt really horrible, so I've taken a step back and I'm like, I'm going sober. I'm gonna try not to even put myself in those situations. Mocktails from now on. That's what I've been doing mentally. Like, I feel like I was doing fine and then that happened, and I think it's also just because it's summer and I thrive. I truly do thrive in the summertime. Again, life is about balance and I'm learning how to balance that. I really am trying. July is gonna be a sober month for sure. Dry July. Is that a thing? Would you move to Atlanta? I wanted to for a really long time because I grew up in Georgia. I grew up in Columbus, Georgia, from age 10 until I was 18, and then I moved to Miami. As a teenager, I always wanted to move to Atlanta, and I still really love Atlanta. Like, every time I visit, I'm like, I love it here. Recently, I've just realized that I'm such a Florida girl these days. There's nowhere else like Florida. Like, the beach is here. Again, like I said, I thrive in the summer, and I'm very much a beach person. I feel like I would really miss that, especially like Miami. There's a lot to be said about Miami. It's very expensive. Again, the drinking culture, but I love it here. I love it here a lot. So I probably won't move to Atlanta anytime soon, but I wouldn't say never because I'm a little bit crazy and I change my mind a lot. But for now, no. I would say like 50% of these questions are, am I in a new relationship, or am I enjoying my single life? Am I seeing anybody? Am I dating? And do I still talk to Val? I have gone on a few dates. I also did get a question about how did you become comfortable with your sexuality. I feel like after my breakup, oh my god. After my breakup, I don't know if this is going to be controversial to talk about, but this has been my journey with sexuality. I felt very angry and I was like, I'm never dating a girl again. Even though I am bisexual, I never was like, I'm not gay. But I was like, this is so hard. Like, it's just very different. And so I was like, I'm never dating a girl again. I was, whatever. I went on dates with men, but then I was like, this is a little bit boring. And this is how fluid sexuality is. I realized that I have felt like I'm more into girls than I am into men, even though I'm still bisexual. I would say I'm actually pansexual, but I didn't want to come out again, so we're just gonna gloss over that. I'm feeling so shy talking about this. I don't know why. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Again, this is just my experience. For me, just dating girls was a lot more fun. It's just different. It is just really different. As far as do I still talk to Val, I recently, like a few days ago, posted a TikTok. Yeah. Moving on. Will you ever have another kid? I would love to have another kid. I want 2 more kids, ideally. And it's something that has made me very sad to talk about because I, again, pictured myself with another kid at this point. But I was already 7 years old and I never wanted to be like the age gap between my kids to be so big. But that's just the way that life has worked out and I really cannot dwell on that. Everything in its own time. I'm trying not to rush things, but like I want another kid so bad. Also, look at my nails. They look like a sunset. Did you ever experience homophobic comments? Am I allowed to say that? And how did you deal with them? I'd say on the internet, I just ignore it. What am I gonna do? I'm not changing who I am, so it doesn't really bother me. But I have had experiences, not many, but just in person, when I was with Valeria. I'd say this happened probably exactly a year ago, and it was a very scary experience. But we were at a gas station, it was nighttime, and we were on the way to the club. We were also with another friend who is also gay, but like girly, femme, just like me. And Valeria's very obviously masked. We had stopped to get like a drink or something at the gas station, and the inside was closed, so we had to order through a window. It was just us in that gas station, and then a car pulled up and it was a man. And at first I didn't really notice. I was standing in line and I was talking to the lady, and then I hear Valeria going like, guys, like let's hurry up. And I at first didn't notice anything was going on, but I did notice there was somebody behind us, and I figured she was saying let's hurry up because somebody was waiting. And then I hear this man start talking, and I'm not gonna be able to say what he said on YouTube, but he's saying crazy stuff. He's one, being racist and saying a word that starts with an S that I had actually never heard before, and I was like, what does that mean? And then I turn around and I notice he's spitting. Like, he's spitting towards us, not like directly at us, but close enough to our feet that I'm like, what's wrong with you? And he just keeps spitting, and he's like, can you guys hurry up? And he starts saying the F word and throwing around the F word and just being very weird. And I know that in those situations, especially at night with a man and like nobody else is around, you have to be very, very careful. However, I tend to be confrontational when I get angry, but I was very confused and I was like, what is wrong with you? It kind of became a screaming match in this gas station, and obviously Melody is like trying to keep us safe. She's like, get in the car, get in the car. And then the lady in the gas station didn't serve him, she left. Eventually we got in the car, and I wish that I could tell you exactly the exchange that happened there, but there's a lot of words that cannot be said on YouTube. But he was really, really losing his mind out of nowhere. Like, no one was talking to him. So that was a very scary situation. But yeah, that's like the most bizarre thing that has happened as far as like being gay. I'm sure there's been other instances, but it doesn't bother me at all. Anyway, that's gonna be the end of this video because I feel like I've been recording for like an hour. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you so much, and I'll see you in my next one. I love you.
Bye, Ugly.